guys, welcome to Kevin Creates. Primarily what we talk about here is art, some organization, and a little bit of life sprinkled in here and there. So this is actually going to be my first video when it comes to planning or planning with me. I have a personal obsession. I love these videos. I love when other people either review their planners or show how they set up their planners. I just find it so inspiring and very like cathartic almost. So I figured, since I'm setting up a brand new planner, I just ordered this like a couple months back now, why not bring you along for the journey? Why not see if you can get a little bit of inspiration from the way that I set up my planners and the way that I do my planning in my planners. So we'll get right into it. This is Plum Paper Planner. This is the 7x9 vertical priorities. I've actually been ordering from Plum Paper since 2018. So this is my 10th planner, 10th or 11th. I've had a lot, basically. I keep coming back to this vertical priorities in particular, but I love the Plum Paper planners. They're so customizable. I haven't found any other planners that I get the same level of enjoyment out of, because I really do like being able to pick and choose how things look. I'm not a huge fan of the ones that you buy off the shelf, just because I do like a little bit of customization. So, like I said, this is my brand new 7x9 vertical priorities. I've got this set to start in May. If you're new to Plum, if you've never seen a Plum Paper Planner before, you always have the option to create whatever you want for like your main page or cover. So I like to put my name on it just because that's what I do. I usually like to put the year. I kind of messed up with this one. I did get a 12-month planner and it actually splits between 24 and 25. Whatever. Starts with 2024. I like it. They always have new designs coming for their covers too. And this one, I think it's one of like the teacher ones. If you haven't been on Plum Paper, you need to go check their site out. I will leave it linked below. Just go take a look, especially if you are a teacher. They have specific planners just for that. One of my best friends is a teacher. I actually got her one for Christmas, like specific to teaching. Anyway, that long ass explanation was to tell you that this particular like cover design is part of like the teaching ones that they have. I just loved it. I love the whole vibe. I'm an avid reader, so I love books, I love the plants, I love all of the things. It just really sang to my soul. I'm also a huge fan of their folios now. So this is the second one I've gotten because I bring this one back and forth to work. I don't work a traditional Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 gig. I actually work in mining on like rotation. So I need something that's gonna keep it clean in my dirty ass mine. And I really have found that these folios do the trick. So here's our cover. Has my name on it, has the year. This is the one that I went with. I also chose this camel folio because I felt like it kind of matched the colors that we have going on here. So you open this bad boy up, you have your first page, planner belongs to, you can put your name. Again, I haven't done anything to this. I wanted to show you this brand new, and I will go through like setting it up with you in a little bit. I'll show you what I am going to plug in for stuff, but this is just a very basic overview of what your vertical priorities looks like fresh out of the box. So they always have calendars, like the full year calendar view on the first page. I personally love this because, again, where I work rotation, I actually like to block off when I'm away at work so that at a glance, I kind of know what my days off are. It just kind of makes me happy. This one actually has 2024 and 2025, and that makes sense because I ordered dates that were in 2024 and 2025. So it took me a minute to understand why. They also have different like color customizations you can do. And again, you really do need to go check them out online to understand like the breadth of how much customization there is for these. But I always go for the colorful. I've heard other people say that like when they do these reviews, they kind of prefer the neutrals or the no color because they have a hard time either matching up stickers or kind of customizing based on the colors and like the tabs that they give you. I love the color. I think life is better in color. So anyway, I really, really enjoy the full color scheme. And as you can see, everything's kind of colorful in here too. It all kind of flows with that. But after you hit the main calendars, they always have this special date section. So it's always January to December. You can kind of put in special dates. I don't usually use this, to be honest. Like, I'm not quite sure what to put in there because there's dashboards every month. That's where I kind of put my special dates, or I actually put it in on the days. So anyway, I keep looking for inspiration from other people to see what they do. I think some people use this as like, they fill in memories as they go. So things that they've done every month, they kind of plug in. Maybe I'll copy that. Maybe I'll do that for this one. We'll see. Anyway, this one's going to stay blank for a bit just because I'm not positive with what I want to do for it. The next one, I do love this, the ideas, plans, and goals. Again, I see a lot of people say that they're not quite sure what to do with this. I break everything down into, I guess you'd call it like almost 12 life categories. So I actually set this up, like each one of these is one of those categories. So I have one for health, I have one for career, I have one for, I'll show you in the other planner how I have it set up, because I'm going to do the exact same thing in this, but I really, really like using this to break down my 12 areas of life and kind of what my goals are whenever I'm setting up a planner in the first place. Like what do I want to accomplish out of those different areas? Then I can kind of check back. You're obviously never going to accomplish everything that you kind of brain dump out. So it's also very interesting for me to see what changes and what shifts depending on what I've decided I kind of wanted to do for the year. And I always get these in 12 months. I should know better. I should learn my lesson and do 6 months at a time, because not that I get bored, but I start looking for different things in my planners. Like as time goes on, I want to add new things in, or I want to take things out, and I like to mix up my layouts a little bit. So again, I really should only order 6 months at a time. I always do 12 months, mostly because I'm in Canada and Plum Paper Planner is an American company. It's all in US dollars and the shipping's not super cheap. So for me, the most bang for my buck ends up being the 12-month planner, which thinking about it now logically doesn't make sense, because if I'm not using the full 12 months, then did I really save the money? I did not. But anyway, that's girl math, or however you want to call it. That's how I'm doing it right now. So I do get the 12 months at a time. We'll set this up. I'll show you later on kind of examples of what I do. And I love this blank notes page, because this is, usually I do my calendars from like January to December. That's kind of, I am one of those people. I love New Year's. I love the fresh start. I love sitting and kind of revisiting and reflecting on what you've done for the year. I love sitting down and figuring out what you want to do for the upcoming year. And I always pick a word for my year. I've been doing that, probably since like 2018 now. It's been a while. And so what I've started doing is actually like putting my word on this notes page here, and I will write out like whatever comes to mind for it. So like, why does that word mean something to me? What is that going to look like? Sometimes I'll do a quote for it. I make it kind of fun and colorful, but I love that notes page just for that specifically. Again, people do so many different things with planners. I love seeing it all. It's so friggin' inspiring to me. So anyway, once you've got those big major like chunks out of the way, you get right into the months depending on when you've started it. Again, I started this one for May because I decided back in March that the horizontal priorities wasn't really fitting what I was looking for, and it also wasn't enough space in the A5. The A5 I personally find a little bit small for what I like to use my planners for. So we start off in May. So you have your monthly highlights or dashboard for every single month that you have. These used to come blank. They were just big circles. And again, a lot of the people that I've watched do reviews or set up their planners always said that they weren't sure what to do with those, which kind of makes sense because they just kind of throw them out there and they don't really like give you any suggestions. It looks like now they do. They say goal number 1, number 2, and number 3 for the month. And funnily enough, that actually is what I've used those dashboards for. I always do pick kind of 3 main goals for the month that I want to do and plug them in there. The rest of this, I don't love. I don't love having the birthdays and events and things to remember. I don't love the way that this one's laid out. So I think what I'm going to do is start copying what some other people do and like gluing in my own stuff, or maybe just kind of like whiting things out and changing what I want them to be called. Again, we'll get into that as I'm setting up a planner a little bit later on. But for starters, like as it comes to you, you do have your 3 main goals. You got your birthdays, you've got your events, you've got things to remember, and then 2 blank spots. One that I saw that I really, really like, and I might adopt myself, is memories made. So one of the planner gals that I follow on here, she actually will go in and write what she did every month. And again, that's could very well tie back to what you're doing for special dates. I think that might be something I try. We'll see how that goes. I'll show you the last planner that I have, but I've got a Canon Ivy my mom gave me for Christmas. Coolest little sticker maker ever. You can actually turn your photos into stickers. And so I've been using that and actually sticking kind of photos in that either represent the month or whatever I fancy at the time. Whatever I feel like printing off is what goes in there. I have been writing down birthdays, but this might change. We'll see. It always has the notes page. So the next thing I absolutely love this. They do have like the monthly overview for the calendar. And one of the things I adore about Plum, and probably one of the main reasons that will keep me going back to Plum forever, is that you can set your own custom dates. So not only are you able to add in your country's holidays, so I obviously bring in Canada's holidays because I'm Canadian. They've got a new segment where you can actually add in like the moon phases, which I think is very funky. So I've started adding that in too. But you can actually customize things that you want to add to your calendar itself. So I add in all of my friend and family's birthdays in there. So like this for May, I've got a couple birthdays on this one actually. I've got anniversaries, things that I kind of want to keep in mind. I've also got bills that I know come out. So I know my car payment comes out every 2 weeks. I have that set for every Friday, like every second Friday in here. I've got, my Good Life, my Telus, like I kind of plugged in the major bills that I know come out on certain dates, just so that when I look at my like initial calendar view, I can see everything right there. Then you get right into the weekly overviews. So again, this is the vertical priorities. The way that it's set up is that you have your days going vertically, hence vertical priorities. So you always have these same spots. This all kind of looks the same, but you get to customize what you want it to say basically. So I decided on weekly overview for up here, just so I could kind of plug in kind of like the main goals that I have for the week, or the things that I need to remember for the week. That might change. I might white that out and put something else in there. I might do a quote actually. Sometimes I like putting quotes up there. We'll see. This is going to this one changes for me week to week, month to month for sure. This I left blank because I don't always know what I want to do with this one either. So sometimes that might be a quote. Sometimes that might be me tracking something. On my last one, I think this week's wins is what I put in there. So I would try to put down like the really good things from the week. Don't know what I'm going to do with it this time. That's why I left this one blank. I'm not positive. For the upper corner one, I do like to use as a habit tracker. There's 1,000,001 different ways you can do this, but they do have kind of days of the week. So for me, for my habits, these are the things that I've been writing out by hand in my last planner. And these are the things that I know aren't going to change for me. These are the habits that I constantly like to make sure I'm tracking. So I use, if you hadn't noticed it here, I use an Oura ring. I've been using this for 2.5 years now. I'm a data whore. I love data on things. I like getting information on things. My sleep has always been really, really poor. I've always had insomnia. So the Oura ring has actually helped me big time kind of rein in my sleep, figure out what things work for me for sleep, what things don't. It gives you a readiness score every day based on a bunch of different things. Go check out an Oura ring if you're curious, if you like wearables and you like information. But for me, the big thing is making sure that my readiness is over 75 every day. I want my sleep to be over 75. This is out of 100. Protein. Oh, okay. I went vegetarian January, some amount of time ago. And my biggest issue has been getting enough protein in. We're going to pretend that you guys care a lot about my lifestyle, hence whatever. Art, organization, life, told you all these things will bleed in together. But I like to track my protein consumption, and the minimum that I want to be getting every day is 90 grams. I'm not here to give fitness advice, nutrition advice. I am a mechanic. I am not a dietitian. I am not a coach. But for the many, many years that I have been like tracking my food consumption and exercising, and I've worked with coaches and blah, 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 I know that I need about 90 grams at least to keep my muscle mass happy, to keep myself full and happy, whatever. This is what works for me. If I can get up to like 130 grams a day, fuck yeah, stoked. But I find it extremely hard without supplementation. So anyway, you'll see that on my other one, but I track my actual protein consumption. I actually write the numbers in here too. So what my readiness is, what my sleep is, and what my protein is every day. And you'll see how I color it in. Again, everybody does things so differently. I love seeing how everybody does their organization. It's so cool to me. But yeah, I track those. Exercise. This is again more so this isn't for like an accountability thing for me. This is me genuinely being curious about how things tie in to each other. So like exercise, what days am I exercising? I try for a minimum 5 days a week. My goal is 6 days a week. I like to do 3 full body workout days, and I like to do 3 run days with at least 1 rest day. Lately, I have been bagged. So it's been basically, I do a run day, I do a weight day, I take a rest day. I do a run day, I do a weight day, I take a rest day. So I've been getting a little bit more rest in. And it's interesting for me to see whether that has affected like my readiness score for the next day or my sleep score. Anyway, just kind of cool tracking for me. Like I said, this is why we have the Oura ring. This is why I have a Garmin. I like getting all of the information and figuring out how things tie in together. So I like to log these things just so that I can kind of see what works and what doesn't, and just kind of keep an eye on things generally. The last one that I do like to track is what I've started calling soul food. So originally what I was putting in here was meditation. And this is something that I found over the last couple of years that actually does make a huge difference for a lot of areas in my life. But I don't always like necessarily want to do traditional meditation. Like sometimes maybe it's yoga, and yoga is my like calming central nervous system cool down kind of thing. Or maybe it's, I love Queen Herbie and I like her, she does these like Oura cleanses on her Patreon as well as on her Instagram. And sometimes I like just sitting and watching that, and that I find very like calming and almost meditative. And it's just, that's my vibe for a minute. That's my soul food. That's what makes me feel good. So instead of just putting meditation this time around, I wrote soul food so that kind of encompasses anything that makes my soul feel good. Anything that feels good on the inside. So those are what we track. I was thinking this was going to be a really quick video, but we forget how much we talk in this house. We have a gift of gab here, my friends. You'll soon find out if you did not already pick up on that fact. Okay, so for the rest of it, maybe we'll do a separate video to compare back and forth. This is basically just showing you what the 7x9 vertical priorities is fresh out of the box for 2024. So again, these can kind of come blank, like you get to pick and choose what you want all of these to say. I decided I like my priorities and I like gratitudes. That was one thing that I found I was running out of space on. I'll show you when we do the comparison, probably in the next video. But every day I find if I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, even if I've woken up on the wrong side of the bed or I'm bagged or something shitty comes up, it's just a very simple, quick way for me to almost like change my mind frame or like shift my perception of things. It always makes me feel good. It's always nice to have a reminder that even on super shitty days, there are like little good highlights. So I do gratitude from the last 24 hours. I like to do my priorities too. So what are my biggest things that I want to accomplish for that day? This one I left blank because this is more so my to-dos, but that might change. Like that's, maybe I'm going to want to add in more gratitude, or maybe I'm going to do a little blurb, or maybe that is just going to be straight up to-dos. Or maybe I have a lazy day and I plan nothing and then I just put in a fun sticker or something. Who knows? I just wanted that one blank, but most likely that's going to be all to-dos for me. And then these bottom ones, I like tracking my workouts. And so what I was doing on my last one under exercise, I started writing like an R for run day, S for strength day, W if it was just a walk day kind of thing. But I actually want to start just doing kind of like a quick blurb every day on what the workout was. So did I run 6 kilometers at steady state, or did I do 40 minutes of sprints, or I'm following Ben Bruno's workouts the last, I'd say probably year. Love Ben Bruno. If you are an exerciser, again, art, organization, and life, they're all going to tie in together here. If you're looking for really, really good, like science-backed, awesome workouts, check out Ben Bruno. He's on Instagram. Might plug him down below, or you can just remember and kind of go check them out yourself. But I've been doing his workouts for the last year. He's got 3 sets of them. They're kind of 3 phases. They build off of each other. I love them. They're full body. They're all less than an hour. They're super functional. I've actually noticed a ton of like gains in my strength and my mobility by doing his workouts. They're my favorite for now. That's what I'm sticking with. So I'd like to write out whether I did like Ben Bruno's phase 2 workout 3, or was it phase 2 workout 1, or just being able to track that kind of thing. My only qualm with this layout, and I'd forgotten how annoying it is, Saturdays and Sundays, you basically get half the amount of space, right? Like you're splitting that like 7th fucking column or 6th column into 2. I don't love that. I really do wish that all 7 days of the week, which I guess there wouldn't be space for, whatever, but I do wish that all 7 days of the week had the same real estate. I do get that most people do work on Monday to Friday, and maybe Saturdays and Sundays are less hectic if you're using your planner for like work stuff during the day. Again, I work away. Every day is Monday for me when I'm at work, and every day is like a Saturday when I'm at home. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this one. I think what I'm gonna do, maybe I'll use the last 3 lines there for gratitude, because that's like a non-negotiable. Every day I want to be writing down my gratitude. Maybe I'll do like a line for what my workout was. Oh, right. Okay. And so for these two, another thing I've been tracking, I quit smoking and I like writing down how many days in I've been. So I think it was actually May 4th last year. I decided that was my like, no more, I'm over smoking. That was my first big like quit attempt. I had 2 little oopsies since then. So I think I smoked for a minute in July and I smoked again for a minute in like November. So right now I'm tracking since my last oopsie, which was November. We're coming up on 6 months. I like to write down how many days I have in every single day, just because it keeps me motivated. It keeps me proud of myself. And it's actually really cool for me to see that like time passes regardless, right? We all obviously know this. That's like a fundamental life truth. Time's going to go by whether you're spending it doing something or not. But I really like seeing that compound effect. I really like seeing, holy shit, it's been 130 days already, or holy shit, it's been 200 days. Like, I like seeing those kind of numbers. Again, data is my friend. I've also been tracking how many days since I went vegetarian, because I think that's kind of, again, interesting data for me to have. And where I have, I think I said this earlier, Garmin, I'm going to try to bring it in so you can see it. So you see this little dude here, that is your body battery. If you don't have a Garmin and you like all of the things, all of the information, highly recommend checking them out. Oh, see, it switched again. So I'm at 60%. So I've actually been writing down what my body battery is every day so that I can kind of see the correlation between my sleep, my readiness, exercise. I'm feeling extremely drained today. So it was surprising to me that I woke up with like a 70% body battery. Most days for the last week, it's been about 40%. It's been a rough week. But those are the kind of things that I like to track too. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see how much space we have. I flipped back and forth between either doing like the vertical priorities or doing it daily. I don't think I have enough to fill up a full day yet. Again, give it fucking 4 or 5 months and I'm sure I'm going to be like, okay, let's switch. We're going to change it to something new. This is what we do in this house. For now, we're going to see how it goes with all the things. We'll see what I add in, what I want to take out. We're going to see how it works. Yeah, very cool. So I love that you can customize that. This is what I've chosen to do with mine for now. Again, I don't mind the different color schemes, man. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want with it anyway. I'm going to put whatever colors in I want. I'm going to put whatever stickers I want. I don't really care. At the end of every month, you have another notes page. 2 things that I did add in on this calendar. I did fitness pages. I had this on my last one. I didn't really use it. I started off strong and it just kind of petered out. We'll show you in the next video. I don't know why I did this again. I added in just a fitness section. We'll get into it, I guess. We'll get into it once we set this all up. But this one's more so like the start of your year. So what's your goal timeline? What's your weight goal, your nutrition goal, your overview, measurements, affirmation, again, long-term, short-term goals. What are your milestones? I am going to try to see if I can figure out my TDEE and then start doing like a fucking healthy cut, basically. Get to where I'm comfortable and confident and happy and all the things. So I did want to do this for kind of like my starting point so that I can stay on top of it. Then they do have a monthly one. I don't know how I'm going to set this up yet. Basically, I don't know why I got another fitness page because I'm not convinced that I'm going to use it to its full potential, but here we are. So anyway, monthly overview, you can kind of track them every day. Fitness goals for the month, motivations and rewards. I like that. I am a reward-driven person. I like my dopamine hits, so that I think might be handy. Weight overview. I'm kind of doing that right now anyway with this spreadsheet that I'm tracking. We'll see. We will see how this goes, but this is what it looks like. How are your fitness habits? Are you doing all the things? So it just gives you a chance to go back and kind of, just kind of check in and do a review of your month. I do like that. I'm a huge fan of that. Goes through all the months. I will have to write them down, but then the very last one is basically like a closer for the intro one. So it's the yearly overview. How did it all go, basically? Like, what was your goal? Fitness nutrition scale. So this one I think is kind of cool. You can highlight what you felt it was. So maybe I'll come in every month and kind of stay on top of this. Reflections, challenges, whatever. We'll see. This could be really, really handy for some people. I wasn't using it when I had it broken down for every month. So I don't know why I thought I would use it for its own little section. Here we are. The other one, I have no idea why I got this. I think I had something in my head, something to do with my like business goals. I'm trying to get my own business started up on the side. And I think that I wanted checklists for something to do with the business stuff. I have no idea what. I cannot remember. I'm hoping that I wrote it down somewhere because I'm having a total brain fart, like not a fucking clue. But anyway, checklist is one of the many, many add-ons that you can put into your planner. You can do just like a grid page, you can do line pages, you can do dots, whatever. I had something in my head that I wanted to be able to track. It's gonna be handy for something anyway. I've seen some people use it for like grocery lists, kind of how their pantries are stocked, what they're looking to get. There's a million and one things you can do with these. Again, this is what I absolutely love about Plum is there's no shortage of ways that you can use this, and it's so customizable, man. So after we have our, I think it was like 10 checklist pages that I got in this one. You've got a couple dot pages. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. Maybe they'll be doodles. I don't know. We'll see. Not sure what I wanna do with that yet. Context pages, I do use these because I write out all my people's addresses, like physical addresses, because I like to send cards. I am one of those people. I love getting mail that's not a bill or a fucking flyer. My God, I hate junk mail. So I like to send people something that's not those things too. So I like to have their stuff written down in there. Passwords, I personally wouldn't use this for that. I have like a list on my phone. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of having passwords just written out all willy-nilly. But anyway, that's an option if you want to use it for that. Okay, at the very end, you have the following calendar year. So this one would be 2026 because this is a 2024, 2025. Kind of crazy to think that that's coming up way faster than we would like to admit, but time flies when you're having fun, hey? Right, and then this back cover, it's always gonna be the same design as your front. It just doesn't have the customization, like the name and the year. I like to get these plastic covers. I don't really know why. It just makes me feel a little bit more secure in it. And again, especially since I do bring these to work, my work is extremely dirty because it's an iron ore mine. So it just makes me feel like this gets a little less doity if it has its cover. For the coil, they have a gold option now. My last planner I made, I got in gold. This one, I think the silver just made more sense to me. This feels more like cool tone. Anyway, and one thing that I did get in one of my many Plum orders was these pen loops. I love these actually. I find this very handy. So since I haven't set up this planner yet, we don't have a pen assigned to this yet, but it is just super handy dandy to have a pen in your little pen loop. It goes through the folio like so. This you could put some fun stuff in. I might put like page tabs in there. My last one, this is where I was storing, because I think I already talked about this, but I got the Canon Ivy for stickers for Christmas from my mom. I get my love of all things planners and stationery from her. She's actually the one that got me onto Plum planners in the first place back in, like I said, 2018. So she got me this really cute little Canon sticker maker. We'll do a video on that actually one of these days as well. I'll show you if you don't have one already yourself. I'll show you what it looks like, how to use it. It's super fun. As I said, usually put those stickers, I like to put them in this like front kind of dashboard page, but I like to keep my stickers in there. And then I also use this pocket for other stickers. I'll show you my last planner, but sometimes I like stickers to mark what days I went to the gym. I like stickers to mark when I started going vegetarian, like what days I was doing veggies. Anyway, all the things. You can put a notepad in here. Again, they're just so customizable, man. Everything is so customizable with Plum. Love them. And then you just zip it on up. And that is a very not short intro to the 7x9 vertical priorities by Plum Paper Planners. Those are probably going to be the only planners that, again, you see me using on here, to be honest. I am very loyal to the brands that I love. When I find something I love, I stay very committed. So like shoes, Nike's my jam. Planners, Plum, you have my heart. even though you are so expensive for a Canadian. So worth every penny, man. Fucking love Plum. But yeah, that's the 7x9 vertical priorities. 10 out of 10 recommend checking out Plum if you have not already. I will plug some things below for you. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe because you will get notified when new videos come out about planning, setting up planners, monthly overviews, monthly reflections, art. I am a very artsy person too, so we're gonna be doing lots of different kinds of art. In my world, makeup counts as art too. So sometimes we're gonna throw in a funky face of makeup because why the fuck not? The world is our oyster. So yeah, check on back. You'll get, if you subscribe and hit that little bell, you'll get notified when we do have those new videos coming out. I'm not sure what my posting schedule is gonna be yet. I have another channel. When I'm doing those videos, those come out on Sundays. I don't know if I'm gonna try to do the same scheduling for this one or if I pick a random day of the week. Who knows, friends? Who knows? This is the first video anyway. We'll see how it goes from here. Thank you very much for your time. Again, if you like this, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.